Hello everyone, this is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, pop sensation Lizzo has stated that she makes music for black people, but most of her audience is white that listens to her music is white. And most of the people who wrote the songs for her albums are white. So why would she make this statement that she doesn't make music for white people? She makes music for black people. She sings from her black experience. What are we to make of this? You know, somebody might question, why would I even want to talk about this? Because I believe there's some political undertones to what she's saying. And I don't believe that she really means what she says. She's just saying this to feed into a narrative. So let's get into this, in my opinion. So let's analyze this. So on this article from Breitbart News starts off with Lizzo claimed in November's Vanity Fair cover story that she doesn't make music for white people. But the pop star has worked predominantly with white producers and songwriters on her last 3 albums, partnering on some of her greatest hits with the rock band X Ambassadors, whose members are all white. In the Vanity Fair interview, Lizzo addressed criticism that her crossover success means her music is aimed primarily at white audiences. This has happened to so many black artists. Diana Ross, Whitney, Beyonce, rap artists now. Those audiences are overwhelmingly white. I am not making music for white people. I am a black woman. I am making music for my black experience, for me to heal myself from the experience we call life, she said. Now, let me just look at that. What do we make of that? What do we make of what she just said here? And I just want to say, I believe what she's doing here is she's giving in to the narrative that's being spun by the left and being spun by white Democrats and black Democrats, that is all about blackity black, 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 black this, black that, black that. And it's almost like if you are a black artist in any field, whether it's music, whether it's films, whether it's books, art, whatever form of art you in, it's almost like, I don't want to say hidden, but it's almost like a undercover concept that, hey, if you black, you need to be talking about stuff and singing about stuff and writing about stuff that has to deal with black issues. And if you don't, you are seen as someone who's betrayed the black audience. You know, and this is what I think she's basically saying here. See, because at the end of the day, it's the money that counts. Doesn't matter who buy your music, Lizzo, or anybody else out there that's a black artist that's making music or making movies or writing books or whatever art you in, and most of your audience is not your the black people. At the end of the day, it's the money that counts. So so really, to be honest with you, do you really care? She's giving in to this whole idea of black art, in my opinion, that black artists have to sing about stuff that deals with black people. It just so happens that white people are listening to her music. But if your music is pop music, think about it this, if you're singing R&B, say for instance you are singing R&B or whatever, if you want to call it R&B, I don't listen to her music, so I really don't know what kind of music she sings. I don't know if it's R&B or rap or hip. I have no idea. But she made the statement that it crossed over. That the music crossed over. Isn't that what she said? Something along the line, or in what it says in the Vanity Fair interview, Lizzo addressed criticism that her crossover success means her music is aimed primarily at white audiences. Okay, this is the writer of the article basically summarizing what Lizzo basically said, that her crossover success, which means that perhaps she started off singing for black people and the music was poppy enough or had certain lyrics and certain musical undertones that caused it to cross over into more than likely a predominantly white audience. Because, you know, all markets are different. All markets are not the same. So in order for you to attract that particular market, you have to sing a certain kind of song. Okay, you have the R&B market, you have the hip hop market, you have the pop market, you have the country market. You know what I mean? You got all kinds of different markets out there, and they all have a certain amount of people who have the ability to buy the music and are willing to buy that music. But all markets are not the same in terms of quantity. You know what I mean? In other words, the R&B audience is smaller than the pop audience. But if your R&B songs are played enough in the pop audience, which is mostly consisted of white people, then guess what's going to happen? It's going to cross over, and you're going to make more money and more of those because more white people are listening to your music. Even if the genre is in the R&B field, that particular song has certain beats and tempos to it that appeal to that mostly white audience. Okay, so therefore you're going to have more people that listen to your music in the white audience. It's just like with hip hop star Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was from what I understand, Lauryn Hill was a hip hop artist. You know, she did some rap and I think she did some R&B, what they call neo R&B or something along that line. It was new R&B. She did some of that, and she did some hip hop, you know. But I believe she said in an interview that most of her music is listened to by white people. And the argument at the time, and I can't remember everything in that article that I was reading about what she said, but she basically became angry because more white people were listening to her music when she stated that I was making the music for black people. Now, let's assume that's the case. You making music for black people, that music for black people, but it crossed over into the white audiences. Whose fault is that? It's not your fault. It's not the white audience's fault. You know, because according to the article, it says that she said that she was being accused of calling, you know, what do these white people think they're doing? Were they trying to be cool? What do they think it is to be cool, to listen to my music? No, they like your music. However way you interpret white people for listening to your music, you can interpret it the way you want to. The point is they like your music. Okay, they may not want to buy, you know, listen to your music because they think it's cool. And even if they think it's cool, so what? They think it's cool. Let them buy your music because guess what? You're getting rich off of them buying something that you sung that they like. So having said that, whose fault is it really? You need to blame that on the black people. You need to get on them for not buying the music. Why y'all not buying my music? Same situation with Lizzo. You know, she claims that she's making this music. I'm making music for black people. More white people are listening to my music. Well, I mean, come on. You know, whose fault is that? You know, is it anyone's fault for that matter? Is it anyone's fault for that matter? Let's continue on with this article. I want to get into some more stuff here. But the point is it anyone's fault for that matter? You know, she makes a statement, I'm a black woman, I'm making music for my black experience, for me to heal myself from the experience we call life. To heal here's the thing that kills me. And I said this before earlier in this commentary. She says, from my black experience, is it all about you being black, or is it about people liking you for who you are? Why does it always have to be about your black experience? I kind of wander off of that topic, and forgive me for that. But why is it always about your black experience? Why is it that as black artists, we have to only make things about black experiences and black situations? Let me say this. I think I mentioned this in some videos I made in the past. I am a fiction writer. I've been a fiction writer for some years. Okay. When I write my stories, whether they're books or whether they're stories, okay, short stories, I never focus on the race or the ethnicity of the characters. I may give some descriptions of them, but for the most part, I never hardly focus on their race or their ethnicity. When people read my stories, and I've had 3 of my short stories published, and mostly white, I believe white, small, independent white publications. And why is that? Because when I send my stories out, number one, they don't know that I'm black. And I don't want them to know that I'm black. I don't want them to know that I'm black because the minute they find out that I'm black, my fear or concern is, oh, we're going to regulate his books, or it's short stories to the black section. No, that's not what I'm writing about. When you read my short stories and my books, they have a universal appeal. They deal with universal subjects because that's what I've always wrote about. That's what influenced me, and those are the kind of books that influenced me. The kind of books that influenced me were books that I read from Stephen King. I was a big fan of Stephen King's older books. So those were the books that influenced me, so I wrote in that style. I wrote in the way that the characters and the subject matter and the plot had universal appeal. So regardless of what race or ethnicity you were from, it appealed to you. It was common. Fear and terror is common to everyone. Regardless of your race, we all fear something. So I never hardly let anybody know my race. When I'm publishing my stories, I try to get my stories published and send them out. They don't know whether or not I'm black or white or whatever. But all they know is that I'm more than likely that I'm a male. They may perceive that, but they don't know whether or not I'm black or whatever, because I don't want them to know, because I don't want them to change their perceptions of what I'm writing about. My desire is to be the best writer that I can be. I'm not trying to appeal to any particular race or ethnicity, except to appeal to a general audience who all have the same experiences that everyone is, and that's fear. If I'm writing about fear, it's going to be universal fear. If I'm writing about love, it's going to be universal love. That's what I do, okay? Everybody's different. When she's talking this idea about I'm a black woman, I'm making music for my black experience, I believe she's giving in to the narrative that's spun by the mainstream media and the liberal left and Democrats who want to keep black people voting for the Democrats. That's what I believe that is. It's a bunch of nonsense to me. It's a bunch of nonsense. Let's read on here. I want to read on some more stuff she said here. But a cursory glance at Lizzo's discography reveals she has worked regularly with white producers and songwriters. Her breakout 2019 album, 'Cause I Love You, was dominated by the rock band X-Ambassadors, whose members Sam Harris, Casey Harris, Adam Levine, Russ Flynn are all white. The band produced and wrote the album's hit singles of the same name, as well as 3 other songs. So, there's a picture of them here. All 3 of the members are white. Other album tracks were also produced by Ricky Reed, also white, and Oak Felder, who hails from Turkey. Lizzo's current album, Special, which was released this year, features mostly white producers. So, I don't know what the deal is here. Look. It is what it is, Lizzo. It is what it is. Just face the fact that these people are buying your music. They like your music. It is what it is. I feel like she's just giving in to this whole narrative of black this, black that. If that's what your tastes are, that's what your tastes are. If that's what you want to sing about, that's what you want to sing about. Me personally, I have no qualms with it. It's just that Ryan Clifton Boland believes that you shouldn't be pressured into singing in a particular category or writing books in a particular category or making movies in a particular category because some ethnic group is pressuring you to do so. You shouldn't have to do that. You should do what makes you happy. Okay? What makes you, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier in this video, it all comes down to the money. It all comes down to the money. And whichever audiences make you the most money, then that's it. Look, if you happy with that, then go be it. But look, if you feel like I just got to make music for black people, I just got to make music for black people, then you need to just cut all ties with the white producers that you producing this music with. Cut all the ties with them. Cut all ties with the white people that buy your music. Say, I don't want y'all to buy me, or just start making stuff that's solely for black people. So if you want to make hardcore hip-hop and gangster rap, go ahead and make that. Because really, to be quite honest with you, a lot of this gangster rap is being listened to by a lot of white people. And part of the reason for that is because these producers are marketing this kind of rap music to a wider audience, which in my opinion is sick and disgusting. And I believe that there's an ulterior motive behind that. But that's another story, and I'm not going to get into that. The point is that it's all about who likes your music and who it's marketed to. So my thing is like this. I mean, come on, look, chill out with all of this stuff. I'm a black woman and I'm just singing for my black experience. What is that supposed to be? What is your black experience? Let's think about it. Let me summarize this video with this. Blacks in America right now, in 2022 America, going on doggone 2023, what kind of black experience are you dealing with right now that's so uniquely black? What is it? Are you being oppressed? And if you are, could you describe it? Could you describe how somebody white is oppressing you? Is that what the black experience all about, is being oppressed by the white man in 2022, almost 2023 America? Is that it? Because if that's it, then you way off, as far as I'm concerned. You way off in no man's land. Because that certainly isn't the issue. Because if you can't describe it, then clearly you being brainwashed into believing that. The way I see it. I'm just saying. So that's my opinion. That's my spin on what she said. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all. See you again.